What if I told you that the most dangerous threat to your health isn't something you can see or feel? It's hiding in your mouth. Today, we are uncovering the shocking truth about how your oral health could be silently sabotaging your heart, brain, and overall well being with one of the most forward thinking dentists in the world, Dr. Sheila Dobee, in the house. What's up, my friend, Dr. Sheila? How are you?
I'm great. So good to be on your wonderful show. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you, Carlos.
Oh,
How are
my
you doing?
friend, I'm doing amazing, better now, talking to some, incredible human beings like you, my friend, always bringing the love. You and I met, speaking on stages in LA,
Mhm.
contribution events, Oscar events with some of our friends, and me riding down on that bicycle on the stage, throwing bread at Wesley Snipes and Colin Farrell.
I know. I have great memories and great pictures.
Matthew McConaughey and all the great people that you and I always been contributing and giving and helping others. So I'm really looking forward to the show, guys. For some of you guys that don't know, Dr. Sheila Dobee, she's an incredible dentist, doctor, speaker, coach, incredible human being. Somebody that I highly recommend you guys following her on social media. And if you have an opportunity to meet her in person and get to know her, you'll be very blessed. And I'm very excited for the show today. Dr. Sheila, I mean, you've been a dentist for 22 plus years, even though you're only 30 years old. So you started at age 8. And what inspired you to take a whole health approach to dentistry? And how did you discover the profound connection between oral health and overall health?
That's a great question. I think a lot of times dentists will practice just in the mouth. They don't realize there's an actual connection between the whole system. And I started seeing a lot of links between like unhealthy patients and their mouths. I would look at their medical history when they would come in, and I would see that there was a strong link between my patients that were kind of generally unhealthy and issues in their mouth. So I started delving more into that space and finding so much literature and studies out there showing the oral systemic health link. And I feel that there's just not enough knowledge about it. A lot of people just go to their dentist for a cleaning, for example, or a checkup and fix some cavities. But it's important to raise the awareness so that people know that the oral health is linked to like dementia. Now the studies are coming out, to Alzheimer's, to low premature birth weights, to potential heart attacks and strokes and diabetes. And when I started seeing these links and talking to my patients about them, and then getting their oral health, like really getting them from like a state of where things were really bad to really healthy. And then I could see over time, they were telling me, "Oh, I went to my doctor and my A1C level is getting better. My diabetes is getting better." Then I started like really understanding that link and now taking it a lot more seriously, because I think it's something that we just need to understand.
Yes. I mean, it's always the little things. It's just fascinating how, like, the smallest changes in our daily habits, they can lead to like monumental shifts in
Yeah.
our health. That's so true, my friend. And in many of our conversations, you also mentioned that oral health is linked to conditions like heart disease and dementia. Can you explain like how something as similarly small like as a gum disease, for example, can have such a massive impact on the body?
Well, everything is connected. That blood, if you think of how the blood just runs through the body, right? Pumps through the heart, goes through the whole system, into the brain, all the way around. And if there's any toxins in there or any bacteria or anything that's just not good for us, it's going to go through the whole system. And that's the bacteria, the unhealthy bacteria that's releasing these toxins, that toxins getting released into the bloodstream. And some of it is actually crossing the blood brain barrier and having really harmful effects.
Interesting, interesting. And a big topic is you and I over here in Silicon Valley in the Bay Area, and everybody talks stack, and you are a pioneer in using AI and cutting edge technology in your dentistry in Fremont, California. How is technology transforming the way we approach oral health? And what does this mean for the future of healthcare?
Well, AI is, as you know, it's amazing everywhere. It's really groundbreaking technology. We just need to use it correctly. Now you can even test the bacteria in your mouth. Like this, the mouth has healthy microbiome. And for many years, we've been trying to kill it with mouthwashes and alcohol and bad foods. So we want to try and preserve a healthy microbiome. But now you can actually test the bacterial load in your mouth. You can check the kind of bacteria that's there. You can also do a lot with the AI technology that's even available to for diagnostics. For example, now there's companies like Velmini, for example, where the dentist can use the technology to read x-rays, so there's no like misdiagnosis that's going on. Obviously a dentist needs to have the experience to check things, but the technology is in the diagnostic space is getting really amazing. There's even like robotics doing dentistry now, which is kind of interesting, but there's just a lot of really great things that are out there now.
Yes, no, that is so true, man. I often say from the stages, talking a lot about AI and tech, where innovation isn't just about creating something new; it's about solving problems in ways that we never thought to be
Mm-hmm.
possible. Because now you're giving that perspective, you're giving that a new awareness to some of your avatars and the people that listen to you, potential clients, and as leaders, we should always be asking, how can we use technology to
Mm-hmm.
make a bigger impact? And then challenge our consultants and the people in our marketing team and our advisors to really, really take it one up. And speaking of that, you talk about the deceptive marketing in products like label, like sugar free or natural. What should people be looking for, Dr. Sheila, when they like read labels, or how they can make better choices for their health?
Well, it's it's kind of heartbreaking as a dentist to see when you see parents, for example, trying to do the best they can for their family members, and then they'll say, "Oh, I'm giving my child orange juice because the vitamin C," but they don't realize that the orange juice is full of sugar and it's taking out the healthy fibers, and all you're getting is a big dose of sugar for your child and spiking up insulin levels, right? So. So a lot of the marketing that's out there is like, oh, sugar free and making packaging look healthy and foods look healthy. But that's not the case. Like there's about 60 something plus different names for sugar. And if you don't know what all these names are, you're thinking, you look at the label and you're like, I don't see the word sugar there. But there's so many different kinds of sugar and it's like masked under different names. So I would definitely suggest that everybody should like just go onto Google and look at like different names of sugar and get that list out and keep an eye out for those things when you're reading on the labels. The other thing that's happening is the when you read a label, it says something like it looks like there's a small amount of sugar in there, but you have to look at the serving size. Like let's say it's a drink, a can, and it's 2 serving size, and in there it says like 24 grams of sugar. It's actually 48 grams of sugar because most people drink the whole can. So there's a lot of deception in that space. So consumers have to be so careful what they're putting in their bodies because not only is it harming their teeth and destroying the healthy bacteria in their body, which has been shown to be beneficial, the good bacteria, but it's also causing other health issues. And, now there's such a big link between like mental health issues and sugar, for example, but people just don't know how much they're consuming because they're not reading the labels correctly.
Interesting. I mean, it's like we often talk about that, in consulting, in marketing, personal development, in health is even more because our health is our wealth. And that's why you guys constantly going to see us saying knowledge is power. You see
Yeah.
so many people preaching, but I would add a but to this, only if we use it. I really
Mhm.
recommend. I want you guys to tag people here to listen to us. If you guys are watching here live or on the replay, tag others here because you just never know. And as I always like to talk about, like in business and in life, we must to question the status quo and really dig deeper to find the truth in every area of our life. Health or wealth or business. Because think about it, guys. What's one assumption you've been making that might be holding you back?
Mhm.
Right? It's like there are plenty of assumptions out there. And Dr. Sheila Dobee, you challenge your patients to take control of their health by
Yeah.
being more mindful of
Yes.
what they consume. I've seen that you are big on that. What is
Mhm.
one small actionable step our listeners can take today to start this journey?
I think first is really looking at what you're eating. There's so many links now with processed foods and how bad it is for you. I say to my patients, if you read a label and you don't know what it is, right? Then it's not good for you. If it's something like, if it says in it banana chips, but it's banana, that's fine. But then now they've added palm oil and sugar and everything else, or mono something, and it just doesn't sound like a natural thing, then don't eat it. Because you have to be very careful what you're putting in your body so that you can enjoy the later times in your life when you're in your 70s and 80s. Because I see thousands of patients and I see who are the people that are healthy, what are they eating, doing like my own little study, for example, like of longevity. And I see the patients that are doing well when they're in their 70s and 80s and mentally healthy and happy, they are eating more whole foods, less processed foods, and a lot of exercise, obviously. But we have to be taking care of our health and it's never too late. No matter what age it is, just start taking care of yourself.
Yes, that's like it's real talk. Success is literally it's built on small, consistent
Exactly.
actions and just like the little stuff. That go back to the things that our grandma and our mother always tell us. We gotta pay attention to those labels and to the small stuff because that will pay. That will compound. Same way how we love compounding money and shrinking work time into more fun. Same thing applies in health. That's so true, my friend.
Yeah.
And Dr. Sheila, I mean, you are not just a dentist. You are also a mentor, a consultant, a serial entrepreneur. What's the most common leadership challenge you see in the dental industry as part one? And how do you help professionals overcome it?
That's a great question and a difficult question to answer because there's so many different facets. I think with other dentists, it's keeping them up to date with technology and later using technology that's out there, innovation that's out there, and some of that technology is expensive, like 3D scanning, for example. But it's so important to have in your practice. So we have a 3D CBCT machine where we can look at a patient's mouth and everything inside we see in 3D. So if there's an infection, we're not looking at it as just a little circle, we're seeing the whole thing. So it's important to be up to date with the latest technology and have that technology in your office. Like we have the lasers, we have the microscopes. There's some dentistry that you really need to be seeing at a microscopic, like really zooming in to be able to see things. And you need to invest in that technology. So one of the challenges when I'm doing the teaching of other dentists is encouraging them to adopt these technologies to make it just better diagnostics for patients, better experience for the patients. Like one of the things that I'm working on is like brainwave technology so that patients they're more relaxed when they're having an appointment. Like certain vibrations and certain wavelengths can actually calm your nervous system down by just listening to certain binaural beats at a certain 452 megahertz. And just putting some headphones on to a patient that's not anxious can actually calm them down before an appointment. So that's why I'm so passionate about like looking into like AI and technology because I think it's so beneficial to patients. And so it has been challenging just getting the word out to other dentists that there are so many new things that you have to kind of learn about, educate yourself about, and then put that into your practices.
Yes. No, that's so true. You're talking about the waves, and I have quite a few doctors that I help in Orange County in now in LA. Is a large volume of doctors in the area. And you're right. They're all so busy and it's so much out there when we bring them new things and new tools
Mhm.
to make it we love to call it like an experiential, consultation.
Yeah.
And that, people, they stay longer. I mean, there's so many studies when you
Mm.
make it experiential and you start combining those things, like it's the little things as we've been discussing. So I love it how you're always, applying the latest and the greatest and bringing that out there to other dentists. It's not only to your practice being a role model, but also helping other dentists achieve their goals. That's really cool.
Thank
And you wrote a book called Ninja Tooth Battles. What is the core message you want readers to take away, and how can it help improve their health?
So I wrote Ninja Tooth Battles because what was happening was the little kids were coming to the dental office and I would tell them a little story about this bad super bug that would come in their mouth and would, eat their teeth. And then the parents would be like, oh, this is such a cool story. And then they would try and replicate the story at home. And then one of the parents was like, man, you just write a book about it. And I was like, oh, that's a great idea. So I wrote a book and I got this excellent illustrator. And then the parents, when they come in for their appointment, I give them this book, and then the kids, the parents or the kids read this book, and then it's just a good way of telling the kids, like, you don't want that sugar bug getting in there, do you? And then the kids like, oh yeah, okay, I better brush my teeth. So it was just, the book was written to help parents get their kids to brush their teeth, which is a bit of a challenge when they're younger.
Yes, man. You guys know me always. I preach about those stories, right? Stories do have the power, guys, to change lives, right? Whether it's through a
Yeah.
book, and now you have the interaction, parent and children to brush your teeth, and a podcast or a conversation, right? Sharing
Mhm.
your knowledge, it can create a ripple effect of transformation. You guys know we are big here on the Carlos Inspire Show. That's our goal: is bringing incredible guests like Dr. Sheila Dobee, and to bring the best out of them. Our goal is to become the number one, most educational podcast in the planet with many incredible doctors like Dr. Sheila, celebrities, athletes, influencers, and we're going to continue bringing the heat. And as you guys can see, Dr. Sheila is bringing the heat. My friend, you offer a free consultation at your practice.
Mhm.
Why is education such a big part of your mission? And how can people take advantage of this opportunity?
So I give patients a chance to come in for a free consultation because when it's a relationship. When you have a dentist, it's a relationship. Like, I've had patients that have been with me for 25 years now, like, and I see them, like, they get married, they have kids, their kids come to see me. And you want to be able to trust your dentist. You want to have that relationship. Like, if something happens on a Saturday night, you can text her and she'll come down. And so I always say to new patients, come in for a free consultation, like, meet the team. We have an amazing team of people. I mean, I take years to build a good team because my patients are like my family and my team's like my family. And I look for people that really care in my team that will go above and beyond. I mean, during COVID, we had team members that were like going to some of the homes and giving like toilet paper to the like patients that were like in their 80s and couldn't get out because it's a family. These people will be with us for many, many years. And I always do a consultation to just like, come meet us, like, see what the office is like, see the technology that we have, get to know us. And then that way you feel comfortable, like, this is where I want to be. This is my new home. And then the goal is to take care of our patients for many, many years and their kids also. Like, I really try to make sure that children don't get cavities when they come at a very young age. We're very proud to say that most of our kids don't get cavities because we show them about their brushing, their flossing, their eating habits. We're teaching them how to live healthy lifestyles. And we spend a lot of time with our patients. We make sure that we talk to them about their health, their wellness plan. And sometimes it's like a friendship. They come in and they're just going through some difficult times and, we're cleaning their teeth and we're kind of talking together and sometimes crying together because they're just like family.
Yes, no, man, I love that about you. And guys, I really recommend if you guys live in the Bay Area in Northern California, even if you are 50, 100 miles away from her, I highly recommend you guys coming and check it out. Dr. Sheila Dobee, D as in Delta, O, B as in boy, E as in echo. And highly recommend. She's 5 stars, incredible, amazing. Everything that she does is just highest level of excellence. And that's why I'm very excited having this talk here today. And Question for you, my friend. If you could go back in time
Hmm.
and give your younger self one piece of advice, what would it be and why?
Is this in relation to dentistry or just generally?
This can be anything.
I love your questions, Carlos. Every time I listen to one of your podcasts, I'm like, man, this guy asks really good questions
Thank
and
you.
just really good. I would probably go back and just say, like, learn as much as you can about like your life and health and even how your body works and how your mind works. Very like a few years back, I studied a lot of neuro-linguistic programming and NLP, and mainly to help my patients because a lot of them were struggling with mental health issues. Just nowadays, the Bay Area, everyone's stressed out, and I was like, oh, I've got a small amount of time with this patient. Like, what can I do to help them, like, feel better when they leave my practice? Because I always believe that if a patient comes to me, I want to leave them happier when they leave my office. And it could be any little piece of advice I give or just making them smile or something. And one of the advices I would give myself is going back and just starting earlier. Like, if you get upset about something, why are you getting upset about it? What is the root cause of getting upset? Like, why are you getting triggered by that? Because once you master your mind and you're a healthy person, because if one thing is wrong out of your body, you know this. If one thing goes off, your whole focus is getting healthy, right? So you want to be healthy, but you also want to be mentally healthy. So it's just like really understanding how does the human body work? How do our thoughts work? How do we, an understanding of our mind and body and spirit. That's what I would do, but at a younger age, like not in my 30s, like in my 20s, ideally.
That's great. That's a great piece of advice, my friend. As you know, the mastering the mind early on is a powerful
Hmm.
gift. It would save a lot of you guys listening to us a lot of unnecessary stress.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
so many studies about people 90% of the time they're just spending pounding on themselves,
Yeah.
the little whispering voice, and we're not enough, and you're not worthy, and all the lack of it. And if you notice, guys, it becomes a pattern. That's what we attract. But the moment
Yeah.
that we make a change, we put ourselves in proximity, with Dr. Sheila, with myself, and others that you guys connect with. And you guys know the drill. Whoever you hang around to, you become. You hang around the barbershop long enough, you gonna get a haircut. You hang around with Dr. Sheila long enough, your teeth is gonna be looking really good. But my friend, what's the ultimate vision for the future of dentistry, and how can our listeners be part of this movement towards better health?
I think it's visiting your dentist regularly, going, the vision would be my ultimate vision would be better access to care, right? Because there's a lot of people that can't afford going to the dentists. We do this program once a year where we do free dentistry for low income children and veterans and disabled children. It's through our dental society, the Southern Alameda County Dental Society. So, we do that once a year. We just had a very successful event. We did over $167,000 worth of dentistry in one day. We get together many dentists and we just have anybody that wants to come in that needs care. We work the whole weekend and we get this access to care done. So one vision for me would be just greater access to care. So when you're in that environment, it's very heartbreaking because you'll see some disabled children there, for example, that can't get access to care because there's no dentists that know how to see them, or they may be struggling financially. So I would that would be my greater vision. But for the general public, it would be to make sure that they are going to the dentist regularly, at least every 6 months, so that things don't get missed. For example, if you go every 6 months, if you do get oral cancer, for example, and it's caught early, it's treated early. If you've got periodontal disease, it's caught early, it's treated early, it doesn't lead to all those systemic issues and it doesn't lead to tooth loss when you get older. If you're grinding or clenching, it doesn't lead to teeth breaking. If you've got wisdom teeth that are coming out the wrong way, you get them pulled out so that you don't get big infections in the jaw and other complications. So that would be my answer, I think.
Wow. No, it's a beautiful, beautiful answer. And I love that how you guys got together and to help others. You know, me, I'm big in giving back. So that's amazing. A
Maybe you
great
can come help Carlos next year. You could be the dental assistant.
place.
We always need some help, you know?
I mean, I'll definitely be creating more awareness and hopefully we can inspire like dentists around the world, like you're saying,
Mhm.
in alignment with your vision. And that's beautiful, my friend. And Dr. Sheila, before I come to the last question of the show, which has been going so fast,
Has it
uh,
really?
I'm
Wow,
telling
this
you,
was
normally
so
I
much fun.
do shows, I stick within 30 to 45 minutes, and the times just go by when you have a great time. And where is the best place, Dr. Sheila, that how can they continue this conversation with you? Where do you hang out the most on social media? What is the best sites? Where you hang out where they can follow up this convo and just learn more about all the awesomeness that you have to share, my friend?
So Instagram, Bay Dentist, BAY Dentist. That's where I post a lot. I try to be funny on that. Try my best. And I try to post a lot of engaging content on there to educate people of like, could be children's teeth. I did a post recently and it had like 3.1 million views and it was about baby teeth. And people didn't realize that if you prematurely pull out a baby tooth, the permanent teeth come in and they can like cause issues and crowding with the other teeth, the new teeth that are coming out. So I try to put a lot of educational content there. For other things like my consulting stuff and like on the professional front, I'm on LinkedIn as Dr. Sheila Dobee, on Facebook also. But most of the time I'm hanging out on Instagram.
Awesome, guys. I want you guys to check her out, Bay Dentist on IG, and give her a shout. And for all of you guys over here in the Bay Area in Northern California, come and check it out. Free consultation for everyone. As you'll be glad that you did, my friends. Wow, what an incredible, incredible segment. And that led us to the final question of the show, my sister, which is your eulogy.
Oh,
It's
geez.
it's 70 years from now.
Oh, good. I'm glad you pushed
You
it up.
are you are 100. And if I probably won't be there, but if I happen to still be alive, I'll be there. And your loved ones, they're gonna be reading your eulogy. And they will say, Dr. Sheila Dobee was dot dot dot. In your own words, who was Dr. Sheila Dobee?
I would like to be known for just moving the profession of dentistry forward and through that empowering the lives of many people and affecting the lives of millions of people to be healthier and happier and to be able to smile and laugh with beautiful teeth.
Wow. What a beautiful, beautiful life word lady, my friend. Dr.
Thank you.
Sheila, man, your passion is just literally very inspiring and empowering. I bet you empower a whole bunch of people listening to us here live. Thanks somebody here, guys, today. You never know how many more years you will give that person's life just by listening and learning from my friend here. And just truly inspiring. And I know our listeners are walking away with some very cool, actionable steps to transform their health. Remember, guys, your smile is just more than a reflection of your teeth. It's a reflection of your health. We just learned today there's a whole lot more that's happening in there and your confidence and your life. And I'm just I hope that this episode really helps a lot of people out there. And just thank you, my friend. Any last words, Dr. Sheila?
No, I just want to say thank you and keep watching your show. I mean, if you haven't gone back to the history, there's just so much great content. And, if you're at the gym or you're just driving somewhere, just pop on Carlos's show and just learn and be inspired.
No, my friend. Thank you, guys. You guys know the drill, man. Every Monday at 5:07 a.m. Pacific time, we're releasing new episodes. I've been doing this for 20 plus years. In the last 6 years, since MySpace, Dr. Sheila, we've been interviewing incredible people like you, athletes, influencers, celebrities. And, some of them are no longer here with us. And I love the bond that we have interviewing one another because now this is a piece of content that will forever live
Mm.
on the internet. And I love doing this, especially when we have incredible people like you just literally bringing A game knowledge, helping others, and literally extending people's lives. right? Not just you helping them with the teeth and tooth and stuff. You're actually so much more, as you guys just learned today. But thank you so much. And ladies and gentlemen, you guys know the drill. Life is all about the mission, never the commission. And the days that breaks us are truly the days that makes us.